What up?
Are we live?
Yeah, we are live. What up?
All right. Okay. Look, this time, you can't blame me this time, okay? Because last time Scott was fully like, "Hey, no, we're live," and I was just not paying attention. This time he kind of snuck up on me.
Yeah,
all right?
I should have given you a countdown.
You didn't do a 3, 2, 1.
You're right.
Yeah,
See, I thought about that. Like in the middle of the night last night, I woke up and I was like, "I'm not gonna 3, 2, 1 him," and then I didn't.
Well, you did.
That's so cruel.
Didn't.
The brain is a fascinating muscle.
It's okay. You're fine. You're fine. We still got started. We're still ready to go. Hi, folks. Hello, everybody watching. We are doing the second day of our Twitch streams. It's like day 02 of E3. I don't know what in the world this is supposed to be. I don't know what. I think we should all collectively give up.
We are in a liminal space between virtual E3s.
Yeah.
It's
useless. It is. Yeah, it is. It's a useless venture.
Anyway,
hi, it's me.
It's incredibly useful because we've needed the last 2 days to prep this. Look at how cool our setup looks right now. It's better than it was yesterday.
Nice.
And then when we hit day 1 tomorrow, we're gonna be like so set.
The real,
awesome.
The real day 1.
Yeah, yeah. If we could even call it that. Yeah, folks, it's me, John, and I am joined this time with my fellow co-host. We got Elvie on here.
Hello. This is not my real hair. It's sweaty. Yet I chose to do this because sometimes you gotta make fun of yourself. Hi, I'm here to talk about games.
No, it rules, Elvie.
Yeah, you're not the one in the game CEO blazer, so
yeah, sports highlights.
Yeah. Spencer, you're here, broadcasting from the moon, apparently.
Yeah, I'm actually the dead guy on the moon, which is kind of fucked up if you think about it.
You're getting an Endwalker sneak peek.
Mm-hmm. But that's not till later, way later.
Oh, okay.
We've got 2 days to prepare, I think.
Yeah.
And doing the production stuff today is Solon. Thank you so much, Solon.
Hey, no problem. No problem. Gonna have fun with it today.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get started here because there were some streams today. It definitely didn't feel as bombastic as yesterday was, but there were still things that were announced, and a lot of it did look cool. The first thing that I think we could bring up is Tribeca. There was the Tribeca stream that had quite a few really neat-looking games. Now, I didn't exactly, I didn't watch the Tribeca stream yet. I did, I know that some of y'all did, and we have the write-up on the site. But I looked over the list of what is on the website, and a lot of this stuff looks really cool. So I would love to hear from you all. What were the highlights for? I guess I'll say Solon and Elvie. You two can talk about this a bit here. What were the highlights for the Tribeca show? Would you say?
Oh, you know what? I've got the trailers up. But have you seen their website? Let me see if I can grab the website real quick.
That website is really slick. It's a real nice.
It's also really helpful because it's got the entire list of games.
Yeah,
so that I can,
exactly.
Because I don't have. These are all like brand new games. I don't have it in my brain yet. Like, oh, it's Hunt Killman 3 coming out. Ah, yes, the Hunt Killman series I'm so familiar with. No. We've got Harold Halibut, which was probably one of my favorite games, and it's called Harold Halibut. This wasn't even the first thing, but Guillermo del Toro opened up the entire show with what looked to be this very strange top-down, like, what's the game series? The Square Enix shooter game, Parasite. Parasite
Eve.
Parasite, yep. Mm-hmm.
It looks a lot like that. And a whole lot more. Just everything that I was seeing from the top of the Tribeca. And I think this might have been the one thing that you missed, Elvie. Because it was just the first, it just started out of nowhere. Right. Like most of E3 will be this year. And I was just bombarded with so many things that were like, yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, that looks cool. Oh, this is all the same package. Oh, this is all the same game. Okay. It's really cool, and I don't even have a name for it because it's not listed on the things. It's just, hey, that Guillermo del Toro project game thing. And that's it. That's all I know. So, between the first two things, those were just huge highlights that set the pace for what Tribeca was putting on, which was like film styled games, a specific curation, kind of like yesterday's Day of the Devs, where it was a curation of like, hey, these are what we the Austin game scene look at as like really important indie games. This is Tribeca's like, hey, this is what Tribeca sees as really important games, and it's a very different look. Signalis, that's what this was. Thank you, trailers.
I think I actually saw the trailer for that. I saw the trailer for that one, and that one did look really cool.
Elvie, you can probably talk about some of these other ones too that were just
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everything is. I think what's cool is that everything was very different and distinct from each other. Like you can't really compare one from the other, and like it's clear that they thought about like, okay, like again, this is kind of the difference I feel like between recognizing, I guess my experience so far with like how game events organize these things versus like what would a film festival do when it comes to curating projects, and they make it very clear that they want to make sure that the films they display are very distinct from each other. They don't want accidental like compare. And in this case they apply that here with the games. The video playing is the trailer playing right now is for Kenna Bridge of Spirits. And yeah, I was just commenting how like, oh, it's so funny that this, at least this segment specifically, like the other game presentations didn't really do like this one. This segment felt like one of those featurettes you would find for like a documentary. Like something about it felt like, oh yeah, we're gonna break down like it felt like a mini featurette for a movie when that was not really the case here. But yeah, this is another one I was looking forward to because again, it was just something that this is one of the few games that I think we already knew about like way before this. Like this was already like hyped up and there was already so much having to do with it.
They announced this back. They announced this back at the PS5 stream when they revealed the PS5.
Yeah. That's like one of the consoles it's going to be on. Harold. Oh my gosh, Harold Halibut. Yeah, that took that.
Seeing that it came from a place
that did surprise me. Yeah, another stop motion.
I'm sorry. This is what surprised me. We've got one of the coolest interstitials.
Yes.
That Frankenstein painting or print or whatever it is really cool. I'm just gonna say.
I love he's just like in the corner, like did not, talking to his laptop.
They couldn't film what was on his shirt. They couldn't film what was on his shirt.
That's what it was. Yeah,
it said Death Stranding 2. It said Kojima, call me.
Be careful.
But there was a.
This one was interesting too.
Norman Reedus was setting up for some hometown Louisiana game. This called Norco, which is based on the city Norco, Louisiana, and it also I think it was the Harry Halibut crew that I think is up next on this. Yeah, they declared themselves like an interdisciplinary team, and I was like, what discipline are you missing? You're every discipline, and that was kind of how I felt with all of these. All of the games in here was just like, all of the mediums are put into these games. Just really.
There's a lot of stop motion in the early E3 here, like all the indie focused things. There's a lot of stop motion, which I really dig because there hasn't really been like a big push for stop motion games in a while. Like everyone just keeps bringing up the Neverhood, and it's like. Yeah, that was cool, but also it would be nice to have a stop motion game that wasn't made by an asshole. So that would just be really good.
Here's what's wild about it. There was this line that they said during this presentation that was like, well, we were just kind of making stop motion. We're really good at stop motion as an animation studio, and so we decided we're going to make a game. Then we realized a game's like, 4 or 5 times longer then an actual stop motion animation film, and yada yada yada. 10 years pass, and you're like, you know what? I'm in it for the long haul, I guess. 10 years.
They basically said, "Oh, we're gonna make a game," and then 10 years passed. 10 years line. 10 years passed, and they didn't realize, oh, this took longer than just making a movie. And they're like, well, we might as well finish this.
And that's what gets me, is like, there hasn't been stop motion like this in a while, because it's fucking hard.
Yeah,
It's the hardest filmmaking technique for sure.
And
And-
it just put into scope
And
of
they show
all this
they
stuff.
show motion capture here, which I think is really interesting, which helps them in this case. So that's really useful.
I've
you
seen
know.
a lot of stop motion projects and games like this that kind of have fallen to the wayside. And I
Right.
think the thing that we're hitting right here is that, hey, what's changed over the last 10 years? Not the development tools. We've had a nice 10-year span. We've had a long time, a healthy chunk of time where we can keep a project going for that long, and the technology doesn't, the environments don't change to where you have to scrap the whole thing because the, PS3 isn't the thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these may have started as projects that were like, hey, we're going to try to get this on the PS4. Well, okay, the PS5 is out. Well, you can still put it on the PS5 too. Like, I'm saying, the dev environments haven't had to change. They've been forward compatible in a way for long enough that we can get huge projects like this together. That's what's got me excited more than anything.
So were those like the big highlights that you all wanted to talk about for Tribeca? Was there anything else that you got cooking on there?
Oh gosh.
I was really excited for Sable, which was another thing that has been already talked about a lot in like the indie game circles. Like it's very gorgeous looking. Like it has this very intentional flat style that's meant to emulate French illustration. If someone's familiar with comics, you would recognize the name Mobius, who has done like a lot of work in particular when it comes to sci-fi or And yeah, you're basically like this wanderer in a desert on this flying craft, and you're just vibing. But I'm not, again, it's still very mysterious. Like I'm not sure what is to entail about this, but it really captured me because of how gorgeous it just looks, with how, and it's kind of just simple looking too. But what they did, by flattening it, they just really made it look more complex than it actually is. But yeah, that I'm looking forward to. Like, it just seems like a very relaxing exploration game, and you're gonna try to unravel, like, hey, what happened here? Like, it seemed like something bad happened here. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's post-apocalyptic per se, but the description made it pretty clear that there's like, something happened, and you're stumbling upon all these ruins, and you're trying to like explore through them. And yeah, Japanese breakfast for some reason. I don't know if she's doing the whole soundtrack, but she contributed. She contributed a song for this.
Actually, was when the face opens up to show even more behind it.
Another face.
Oh, it's so good. This whole scene is. This is the part that got me.
That is really cool looking. Yeah.
Faces.
And
all
yeah,
the way
like
down.
if you've seen Spider-Verse, it's doing the thing where it's intentionally dropping frames, so it's trying to emulate 2D animation in that way. And I think it does it well, right? It's like intentionally, yeah, it just seems so cool. Like I don't know, it just seems like a very vast open world that I hope keeps that feeling in the
Gets me
actual
so
final
excited.
game.
I thought it was really neat.
I did
And-
want to.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about the Big Con, which is one of the other games they showcased.
Thank you. That was exactly what I was getting to
Love
next.
to be a '90s teen in a mall, just going around pickpocketing people.
Gotta show you my cool mom, by the way.
It's just
So good.
She was sorry. She's just my favorite spokesperson of the whole thing.
she was
She's
like
very
so
good
into
energy.
it.
Big con.
Big Con.
Go around TikTok.
It's just the '90s, the game, basically.
I respect it. It's fun.
Yep. The animator shouted out Doug, and I was like, yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, it's basically 90s Nickelodeon, the game.
Yeah.
I would say specifically, like they succeeded in that vibe they were saying. Like, yeah, one of them refers like to Hey Arnold, like growing up with Hey Arnold, and yeah, she does the whole thing with the backwards cap and tying her sweater around her waist. I mean, you do that. Anyone does that casually, but that's a specific thing.
Even all
So
these
yeah,
interstitials
The
have
style in the 90s.
Like, yeah, I'm like, oh, like I'm so cool. I'm not gonna wear my cap like frontal.
No frontal caps. We only backward.
That's not
caps.
cool. Everybody does that. I have to do it differently.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
we're not blocking the sun today.
When you're in the it was a thing in the 90s. You know, you've got your jacket. It's gonna get cold later, but you're still gonna stay outside. So you got your jacket, but where are you gonna put it when you don't need it? Well, just wrap it around your waist. Everyone made it cool because it was so practical. And then
Not like you're gonna carry a bag.
Right. It's got pockets, so it's got all your stuff in it. Smart is what it was. It was practical.
I think overall, like, I'm looking forward to all of the games they showcased, except for one specific one, personally, which I think Elvie will agree with me on. 12 minutes.
12 minutes game.
Wife saving the wife again.
I hate it when wives get arrested and
I got bad
taken out
vibes from this.
It's not good vibes, but
It's
the
not good
cast in
vibes
it,
from like
the cast in it
yeah,
was
the cast in it
wild.
is insane.
We've got James
They-
McAvee and
Daisy Ridley is the wife,
Daisy Ridley is my
and it
wife.
doesn't sound like her. She's she's watering down her accent. I feel, and then I didn't hear his voice, but Willem Dafoe is narrator
Dafoe
or
is-
possibly the bad person that is causing the issue here.
I'm assuming.
Or
William Dafoe,
he's like other characters. Yeah.
William Dafoe, why are you trying to kill my wife in 12 minutes?
See, now you're
He
selling
appears
me
in
on
so
this
many
game.
strange projects.
It's not like a bad concept. I'm just
Right.
all these other games are selling me way more on either their aesthetic or
Right.
their conceit.
I like that based on gimmicks, there is apparently 11 games between 12 minutes and a couple years ago's game Minute. So somehow we've got to get from Minute to this, the very like happy 8-bit.
We have to
cutesy.
fill it in.
We got to get from there to 12 minutes.
Unfortunately,
Someone needs
60
to take
minutes is
that on.
not a video game.
Yet.
That's life.
Ugh.
But I'm sorry, this is gonna be mean. I'm gonna say something mean, but like the moment they revealed who made this, I was like, I'm right. A man made this. I am so sorry. A man made this. I was like, there is no way. Like these weird savior. Again, I don't know. From what I'm getting, yeah, he just genuinely like if you actually listen in on what he was talking, like he just genuinely wanted to make this moral choice game and whatnot, and but it just reeks the vibe of self-insert savior fantasy in a way. And again, I don't think that was his intention. I think he as a guy, he's just drawing from kind of his own very specific experiences in regards to if I was in that shoes, I would want to save my wife because I am straight. I assure you, just layers of that, right?
Do I tell her about the cop?
Yeah, the idea of saving a woman in distress.
I'm going back to this nice man. Actually, I didn't want to say they during this game they're talking about non-violent crimes and how there's stigma specifically against those two, and I was just like, fucking yeah,
Right.
yeah. You pickpocket a person. It is what it is. Just got to make money. It's a big con.
Right, and they kind of allude to what the situation is. It's a little ambiguous if she it's not like it's not like she's coming from a troubled background, but it's one of those things where it seems like it's clear that she's in a family situation where they're financially short, right? And this is just one of those things that she just feels, she feels like, oh, okay, I can do this, whatever. And it kind of makes fun of it, but at the same time, it's not condemning her for it. At least, at least the vibe I'm getting. And it's neither also being all doom and gloom about why, justifying why she's doing this. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just funny because I was watching this and I was just like, oh, I've got good vibes with this guy in the glasses.
He does have good vibes.
That's
Anyway.
that's a 1980s dad for you,
Yeah.
Yep.
making a 90s game.
So, the rest of the day I feel like was very odd, I would say. I mean, I'm gonna be a little non-sequential here, just because there was the IGN stream, which they didn't really have anything new. I think it was mostly just like old trailers and like little updates and stuff. The only new thing I'm pretty sure they talked about was the new version of Doki Doki Literature Club.
Mm-hmm.
Which again isn't necessarily new. It is just an updated version of a game. They're porting it to Switch, PS4, and PS5. With some other like new additions and all that. I don't want to talk too much on it because I know that there are people in here that are fans of Doki Doki Literature Club, and I don't want them to get upset because I'm pretty anti Doki Doki Literature Club. But I don't know if anyone has any takes on that.
And you're still over it. I think that's completely fine because it's just another edition of Doki Doki Literature Club for the next like generation of consoles and stuff. And
I mean they do seem to be adding stuff like new like extra stories and all that, and there's gonna be a physical version, so all the physical freaks like me, as you can, all that shit over there, if you want to have your nice box of Doki Doki Literature Club, you can do that. But I mean, I don't know. Do any of you have takes on this? Do you think that Doki Doki Literature Club needed an update?
I feel like it. I can see it needing a remaster in a way, but I don't know what this update entails, right? And I'm aware this like update was like pending. Like this was actually supposed to happen a while ago, but personal personal stuff happened with the developer, and yeah, I didn't dig too much into it. I'm not sure if what the content entails. It seems like it might be adding like quote, normal stuff to the game, so you can actually play the game like a normal Dane-sim before like without it going off the rails.
The shit went down. Yeah.
I think it's interesting it's going to be on consoles because the whole conceit of the game, the actual purpose of the game when it breaks and like really goes nuts, is you have to like go into the game's it's one of those games where it makes you go into the game's files and manipulate them and like find all these secrets and like Easter eggs. So I am very curious as to how those aspects of that, what is basically the core part of that game, works on consoles. Like I'm curious like as to what changes, or like or are they just straight up making a normal dating sim? Like I don't know. Like this is very interesting, but also confusing, right?
I'm sorry to spoil it, but Dan is going to make you go into your files and save your entire Smash roster from becoming Monica.
Oh dear.
So, yeah. It's gonna take all of
exclusive.
your trophies.
You heard that here.
Look, if I have to buy Doki Doki Literature Club to get the secret 6th character in the Smash Pass, then I guess I'm gonna have to. All right, that's how it's gonna be.
Monica goes into your Switch and makes all of your Miis her, and then it's just Minika. Oh God.
Jeez.
That was a lot.
That's why you come on here, folks. That is why you. That's why you're on here to hear bad puns and me admit that I'd pay $30 for a game I don't like just for a Smash character.
For a Smash character.
I don't have any Doki Doki takes outside of like the presentation for it when they showcased it was really weird because it was preceded by a bunch of like flying text of reviews of like, this is the scariest game I've ever played and you will shit your pants when you play this game, and then it was like a bunch of like dark and like just outlines of like the title zoomed in so you couldn't see what it was, and then it pans out and it's Doki Doki Literature Club, and it's like, well, you're kind of, I mean, I know most people probably are aware of the big twist in the game, but like it's all like sunshine and fun when they're showcasing the game, and then at the end it's like, this game is not suitable for children or people who can't handle like shit going down.
Yep, they give you the full disclosure warnings on both ends of the trailer.
Yeah, it's a bit odd just because like at this point I feel like they can't, like everyone who was going to play Doki Doki Literature Club like kind of already did on PC because it was free and like you could run it on a toaster. But it's like I'm not gonna say it's not like a bad thing to put it on consoles and all that, but like I like you know what happens in this game. Everyone knows what happens in this game. Everyone has a general concept at least. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, how are you going to market this game
So,
when
you are
the
completely
twist
right.
is out there?
You're completely right. Here's the funny thing. We're in E3, it's 2021. Different year, same shit. This trailer, with its methodology, works no matter what E3 you put it on. Whether it's physical E3, whether it's digital E3.
Yeah.
Like, it's really funny that it was perfectly couched between a bunch of trailers being real serious about their big game that kind of just looks like every other game. And so they slap this in the middle, and it's like, wow, this still completely stands out on its own. There's nothing that's even close to challenging the energy of this game. And that's good. I also don't want other games to challenge its energy, but it still works. And it was just nice. It was like, oh, hey, my old friend, how you doing? My old, very fucked up visual novel friend. Are you well? Okay.
Yeah,
No, it's not well. That's the point of the game.
Yeah, it's not well. It's a very unwell game. But yeah, the only appeal I can see this is like, if you're a collector, if you just feel like, I just want to keep supporting this because the game upfront is free. It's like, I just want to have a way to pay this guy.
I think it hit its audience really well.
I can't,
without overstaying its welcome too.
I mean,
it didn't try to like do more than that,
Like the physical version has a bunch of like goodies in it, and like it is very much like it's not as wild as like say like your average limited run release where it's like it's an $80-$90 thing, and there's like like a stand, like I mean there are little standee things, but it's not like they have like a fucking Monica plushie or something in this, or like all that other stuff that they have.
You open the box and it's just Monica stickers like the whole way through. And
there's not even a disc. Stickers. It's just like shut up. Yeah.
No, it's good. I think it's fun.
That is basically what how it is.
There were a couple other games that IGN's Summer of Gaming, like their thing today that they kind of announced, but it was all crammed in with a bunch of other stuff. But I do have trailers up if you want to see what we got. Oh, wrong order. Same thing. There were two games that they kind of announced like bigger trailers for than we'd seen before. But the biggest gaming band, Living Tombstone, has an auto battler game that's coming out. That was
oh goodness,
that was neat. I'm glad that they were they wanted to make a game, putting out a game. This is exactly what I expected, and not announce more.
All right,
with all the hype that you'd expect. The other one,
just that definitely seems like they're trying to like make a game that plays like a gacha, but is not just a gacha.
Yep. And then this one is, I'll just get to the juice.
Oh yeah, Ollie World, yeah. I love the
brand new trailer that shows so much about Ollie World that made me really excited.
Those original Ollie games whip ass. So
thank you.
I'm looking forward to this. Yeah.
Skateboarding never dies.
It never dies. It's great.
They also put out a new trailer for Skatebird, which had a rough demo. Elvie, you were there.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
I was there. A lot of people were there.
We all witnessed it.
They're putting it out next month, and from the trailer, they put out a lot, and I don't have a trailer on me right this second, but they put out a whole bunch of new objects, elements, like setups that you can play that game in, so it's not just like you're free skating in kind of a vague world with objectives, and it's much more Tony Hawk kind of looking. And so I was much more excited with what I was seeing from the newest trailer that turned me around in a big way. And so those were the three things that stood out to me. Was a couple little things here and there. It was like, E3 is still kind of smattering a little bit of games here and there for the day zero hype.
Okay. So the last thing that happened today was the Coke stream. That was again. I pretty actively didn't watch this one because I felt like as soon as it started up, everyone was just like, "What in the world are they doing? What is this? What's going on? This is horrible." So what happened? What was this? Like,
I wish I could say. I watched the whole thing. I don't know what was that. It was basically Healy, right, forwarding to this other person who I think her name was Opal. I don't know if she's a representative of Prime Matter, whatever this company. I'm not that familiar with the company hierarchy, but
okay. To explain what exactly this is Koch, Koch, which are not the Koch brothers, not the political assholes. This is the collective that like bought up the rights to a lot of the like old THQ stuff. Like they own like THQ Nordic now with a company that was like Nordic and became THQ basically. And they like the Embracer Group. So
their publishing house Prime Matter was announced.
They have a new. Yeah, they have a new like publishing arm called Prime Matter, and that is what they were talking about.
And this presentation was about the 12 odd games that they have in development underneath their Prime Matter label. And so it was a really weird mock like stitched up interview between this the spokeswoman and like the lead developers for each of the games, and it was God, if you ever wanted to watch a stream like slowly dwindle in live viewers over time, this was the stream to watch.
It dwindled.
This was definitely something where like people were like a little interested because it sounded like they may talk about, because they teased like Payday 3, they mentioned a new Painkiller on the Keeley stream, and this was like 90% just like interviews with people who weren't like gonna like tell you anything of import. It was just like, man, we can't wait for our games. Like, of course they're gonna talk up their games. It's their work, like, and of course that's fine. They should be happy about what they're working on. But like, what are we getting out of it? What are we as the consumer getting out of this besides you exist?
There were 2 hours and about 20 minutes for about 8 games, which is the exact opposite of what you want in one of these kinds of shows. Formatting wise, we're getting a lot of different kind of trailer showcase, which is going to be our whole week, because that's what the E3 is this week, and we're getting a lot of different kinds of looks that are varying levels of success, and this one was the toughest one because they sure spread out 8 games over 2 hours. It didn't hit right. It wasn't the right way to do things.
Not a good idea.
And so there was a lot of just long interviews that looked like... Here's Skull, this was your favorite interview, I think. It looked like a normal man in a very normal workspace.
Normal man. Put up his poster of his game.
His game.
But it was really dull because... Right. The issue was they were interviewing all these people, but they were games that were not ready to have any... Oh, this is so they are games that are not ready to have any visuals associated with them to show to the public whatsoever. So it was just endless talking about something that we have no idea, like, what are they talking about? Like, this is like something that... These are interviews that were not ready for the public, I think. Like these are interviews you would eventually release, like, the moment a game comes out to, like, promote it and cross... I don't know why they did this. Oh, but this was this part, the soap. Was this for Kingdom Come? This is for Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay, so Kingdom Come Deliverance is here. This man, who was clearly in their studio that's empty, he at some point, like... Well, okay, so, like, a huge thing across all these interviews, they were all asked, like, what do you think about, like, this acquisition or being part of this? And they all had to, like, say positive answers, and I feel for them. Like, I don't know... I don't know if they were like very enthusiastic, like they all had to be positive about this, the Koch Media thing.
To be acquired.
That they're being acquired. It's like, it's great, it's helping me, I don't know, in reality. But at some point, this man, he like just brings out a bar of soap.
Oh wait, he brings it out?
Like, he brings out a bar of soap, and he says like, oh, it's like, it's because it's connected with they're making merch for Kingdom Come or something before the game's even coming out to promote it. And one of the merch items is like soap you can get.
The game's been out on other consoles. It's just they're porting it to Switch, right? I think that's what it is.
Yes. It's like just, I think, going to other platforms.
This is my perfect
He
E3
He
moment.
brings
This
up
is
this
why we
bar
watch these.
soup.
He brought
I was
soap
alt
up.
tabbed. I was alt tabbed when
so-
this presentation happened, and I'm hearing, and I'm still hearing the audio, and I hear a really cringe advertisement for like medieval style gamer soap. I didn't know he pulled it out and sniffed it live.
Pulls
it
it out,
out
sniffs
and
it, and says it
gave
makes
it
you
a
smell
whiff.
like it's medieval.
And
gonna
like, what does that
smell like
mean?
a
What does it
medieval
smell?
gamer. He
If
didn't
it's
explain
medieval
it.
soap, it smells like poop.
It smells
Like, what does it not? Like, they didn't soap. They didn't
smells
clean
like
this.
dog whistles is what it smells like if it's Kingdom Come Deliverance, alright?
Uh-huh.
So, good lord.
It smells like candle wicks and hay, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the back and forth between this MC and then the developers was also weird. Like the editing was really strange to me, where they kept cutting to her part way too quickly. There was no like natural human pause where you take
Yeah.
a breath and you wait. It was clearly like pre-recorded, so I'm like, did she actually interview these people live, or like did she like record these questions separately and these people were like responding to something else? It was very strange.
Y'all, can I get some bees in chat? I'm just what?
Yeah,
Y'all didn't get to see my
their
bee man.
logo. Their logo just looks like Bitcoin. It looks like they
It
all
looks
want
like-
Bitcoin to happen. Yeah.
I
But this
have
is an
no
example
idea
where this
what they were
man-
selling. I have no idea what
Exactly,
their game
that-
was, what their company was. They never
Right.
in the interview like talked about what they were making. They were just saying, "Well, we got some games. I like games," and then they start talking about how much they like games for like an hour. It's unbelievable.
Well,
Thank you
this
for the
guy
bees. I
mentions
really
like
appreciate you all
Resident
here.
Evil and Alone in the Dark were influences, so I guess it's a horror game. But right, this is like a prime example of what was wrong with this presentation. Half of this was this, where they were talking about a game that doesn't exist yet, and they had nothing to show. So how can I put two and two together? There was nothing.
As
There was no reason
I've
for these interviews to come out.
I've hosted E3 type stuff before, and when we don't have a game to show because I was showing like really early level works, I was just trying to grab any kind of prototype stuff that I could find. If they had design docs, I was just like, hey, get a picture on your phone. Give me something that I can just like put on stream so I can like we can get an
Concept art.
idea of visualizing what your game is. We could put some multimedia up there, you know. Give me a song. If you can give me like a 5-second snippet of like a jingle you're putting in the game, like anything, please. They Cock Coach. Which one is it?
They pronounced
It
it,
was
3
pronounced
different ways.
3 different times. Like it was. It was
So-
pronounced 3 different ways.
Yeah,
Throughout this
Coke
whole
Media. I did spend 2.5 hours with Coke Media, and it was a lot. It was.
I think we should put like a stream poll. How's it pronounced?
Are you a Coke, a cock, or a Koch
Coke,
gamer?
Koch. I've heard Koch at least twice in the stream from what I recall, but no
Koch
one
is
knows how to
pretty
pronounce
funny.
it either. Koch
Yeah.
is pretty funny.
This was our way of
Oh,
getting
and-
chat to
and-
just chant cock, and I appreciate that.
It did such a disservice to these people who were like very passionate about what they were making and wanted to do, and it just represented them poorly. But what was the most funny thing ultimately in the end? They did talk about Payday. They did talk about
Technically
Payday.
did.
They technically did. They did technically refer to Payday 3. They technically did. And they showed nothing.
That's all we need.
not
It's happening.
It's not coming out for like.
That's all they said. Like, oh, it's happening.
All right, don't worry. I put a poll up. It's all good.
So we'll
Oh,
my
okay.
God.
I've got the 3 different pronunciations right there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Just pick it and we'll figure it out.
Payday 3 isn't coming for like another year and a half, 2 years. So
But
Which-
they didn't talk about anything else.
The entire like Twitch chat. This was all so okay for people who are trying to like follow this E3. We're gonna get to what you're gonna be excited for coming up the next couple of days for E3 because that's really structured. This was no structure whatsoever, all the way to what was the Twitch channel that we were watching?
It was through.
They
It was
just
through
put up-
theirs. It was
They
like,
put up a feral Twitch channel that just said like it was twitch.tv/ you don't know what you're getting.
Here, no, it's here. I'm scrolling up right now. I'm scrolling. It was. God, we talk too much.
it was something.
Twitch.tv/ we know something. Letter U don't know.
Yep. That's how we found the stream for the Cock Media stuff, which is cruel, is very mean. And the entire time the Twitch chat in that channel was like, it started at like 10,000 and then over the course of 2 hours dropped to like 3,000. And the entire time they were just like, we want payday. Give us payday. You're not giving us payday. Goodbye. And then they would just leave. Yeah. And so I'm just watching this and it's just getting, it was rough. I want to just, hopefully, maybe this can just be the bottom of E3, day 0. We can get it out of our way, get it out of the way, and we could, move on. And these games have plenty of opportunity to give better showings in the future, and we could all, pick up and learn from this. Cock 3 wins! Good pull.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Welcome to Kochtown, baby.
Welcome to Cock. Welcome to Cock, everybody. So I think that's it. We're here. We're in it. So folks, we are, I guess, going to go ahead and talk about, I guess, some predictions that we might have for the coming days. Because we have some time, I guess, and the rest of the day wasn't really great, but there was some stuff. I'm not going to say it was useless. There was some stuff. Tribeca was good. Rest of it. But Tribeca was good. But is there anything that you're particularly looking forward to at the C3? Is there anything that you're predicting will be there? Maybe predicting won't be there? Let's go ahead and talk about that. Spencer, do you want to start us off? Maybe give some of your... What are you excited for? What do you want to see? What do you don't want to see? What do you think will be there? Give us your thoughts.
Okay, so we're definitely going to get some Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker trailer that they showed prior to whenever the expansion would come out. Normally this would come out and then the expansion's out in a month and a half, but because of the pandemic delays, it's not coming out till November. But we're definitely going to get a trailer that showcases more of gives you an overview of the plot essentially. They did that for Shadowbringers. We did just have
the Fan Fest, what was it, 3 weeks ago or something?
Yeah, we had the Fan Fest 3 weeks ago, but they probably have a trailer for the Square Enix presentation. Very curious to see what Bethesda and Xbox have also on that day. I hope this isn't going to happen, but I really hope Randy Pitchford isn't here for the Gearbox one tomorrow. That would be the dream. That would be the dream.
He will be. He's gonna do some magic tricks. It's gonna suck.
Oh God, Randy and your perverted magic tricks. And then on Nintendo, fucking No More Heroes 3. It's coming. Come on.
Yep.
I don't gotta say
it. That's my stuff.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Elvie? What's up on your end?
I'm very curious as to what, honestly, Warner Brothers Games is probably going to bring to the table. I know there's one game in particular called Back 4 Blood that is being teased. I'm just curious as to seeing what other properties they might potentially adapt into games, or probably extension of other ones. As always, I usually look forward to the indie showcase stuff because I'm sure there's a bunch of things that I prefer, I prefer to discover and perhaps have no expectations for. I like going to these things with no expectations because usually the margin's very low. So if I'm surprised, it's right. For instance, the Tribeca thing. I totally forgot that the film festival itself was going on, and I was like, oh wow, all these trailers. It's oh yeah, the Tribeca Film Festival was going on at the same time as E3, so this was definitely intentional on their part that they wanted to showcase the game stuff today before their main film stuff the rest of the weekend. So yeah, otherwise I don't really have specific expectations because again, sometimes I also just for off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that I was holding out for anyway. So I'm most curious if Warner has anything that might stand out.
Makes sense. Solon, how about you? Is there anything that you want to bring up?
So I forgot there's one new piece of news that came out today, but that can wait in just a second. Let me put this back up on screen.
Okay,
that's not the right buttons. There we go.
Let's see what's up
with the schedule here. What I'm looking forward to over the next couple of days, we've got 4 whole days of E3. As far as the ceiling and the floor have never been lower to enter E3.
Yeah, for real.
And this is what that looks like. And I'm actually really excited. We've hit what I'm hoping is just the bottom with Koch Media. We got coached real early, and I'm hoping that we're gonna see, like, I'm just looking at things like Verizon and what was the other one?
Intellivision.
Intellivision is on here.
Yeah, like, because they're making a new they've made a new console, and it's gonna be bad because the only thing that they've announced for this that is like for that console is a new Earthworm Jim, which, you know, let me remind you, Doug Tenapple, piece of shit.
Yep.
And also, even on top of that, even if he wasn't a piece of shit, I would not be afraid to say, fucking Earthworm Jim always sucked. So, not exactly a winner. I mean, I will say the cartoon was pretty good. Cartoon was good, but also he had nothing to do with it, which helps. So,
other than inspiring the animation, which I think that's kind of important. I don't know if he had anything to do with that specific part. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Anyway, so that one, Ven, is, I don't even know what that means. I'm going to find out. I'm going to be interested when I do. It's like all of these different pieces come together in ways that I'm just completely fascinated with, because when I put together the Indie 3 project, like, this was like 7 years ago or something, when that was happening, the whole idea, all we wanted was, at least when I was like trying to figure out what is the perfect E3 to me, I just want devs talking about the games that they love making, and I want them to show their trailers at whatever level gets people excited, and I want that barrier of entry to be as low as possible. And that's what I'm seeing here. And that's what I've been seeing for the last couple of days. And for me personally, it has been so rejuvenating.
Yeah, it is pretty nice.
Seeing people tasked with curating their games, like at a publisher level, having to be like, all right, what can we show here that will really excite people and get people talking? And how can we get the developers themselves up to that level? And I think that's really cool. It's just something that has been... I'm hoping that I can keep seeing that over the course of all of this, even through the big publisher series. They're going to keep popping things in. Like, we saw Tunic yesterday. We got to see the updates on that. We got to see the freaking Crank thing. Why am I forgetting the name of it?
The Playdate.
The Playdate. There was a whole Playdate direct that popped out of nowhere. And that just made me happy. I was just... that. We've got tomorrow is Wholesome Games, which is...
we got that's starting the day off, so...
And so I'll be there tomorrow to talk about Wholesome Games, and I'm hoping, kind of actually, that we see some repeats from the last couple of days.
Sure.
Helps me out logistically. And also...
Less to write.
Like a garden story, I can see that being put in there.
Right. There was a lot of games
like
in
a lot of
the last couple of games. The last couple of things they've done that I was just like, yeah, this is the vibe that I like. I'm really enjoying this. And to see a showcase of all of that, I would love to see not just Wholesome Games, I would love to see other curations that are specific to a certain mood or vibe, maybe even a genre if you want to get really like granular and be like, all right, here's the fighting game block. I think that might be a little... I want to
see what they do for a Wholesome Games fighting game. Let's see what that is.
Let's just watch a whole stream of them fighting herds, and we'll just enjoy it. I think it'll be really fun.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's basically just the format of this next week. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for a virtual E3 that looks like this.
Okay.
And it's going to be full of surprises. I don't know if you all saw. Let me pull this up. But big surprise came out today. There was a Hot Wheels Unleashed trailer that dropped out of nowhere.
Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you all see this?
It wasn't attached to...
Look! It's Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Wow.
I love this.
No, I don't know who...
It wasn't attached to any show.
No! Yeah. This is unhelpful to me, but I'm kind of like...
Oh my gosh, that rules!
It rules! They were like
Mattel
was just like...
cars.
Well, I guess the gamers are doing their game thing. Is there any days open for anyone to just drop some shit?
That looks really good.
Right?
It does look really fun, yeah. That looks like a nice, for a pre-alpha, this looks really nice. So, yeah.
It's like, this came out of nowhere. This trailer dropped today, and I was like, yeah, what? And they said, yeah, this is coming out in, I think September is when this is actually coming out, like, for real. And, yeah, they just announced, hey, this is it. We're like, yeah, cool, thanks. Not attached to any show. Maybe it will be later today, or like maybe we'll see it on like a PC Gamer show or something. But
yeah, maybe.
Just wild.
It might pop up later.
I'm saying the floor is so low that trailers can just pop out of nowhere, and that means our job's a little harder. But that's what we're here for. We're here to be able to be like, hey, you might have missed this. Don't worry, we didn't, because we're very good at our jobs.
Hey, E3 is curating the content, and we are curating the E3. You know.
That's what I'm here for.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Shit,
sorry,
look at this.
I pulled away
the shark car!
I wasn't expecting the shark car to make a massive jump.
That's
over
really cool.
Oh my god.
Like it's
the blue Hot Wheels
like...
car! Yes! Oh, that's so cool. I love that car. I had that car when I was a kid! I had that!
This is so good.
This is good. This is really good.
This is gonna be a great game.
Oh,
That's
shit.
good. Yeah. I'm ready for this. This looks great. Oh man, spinning out! Look at that! Yeah, pure racing fun. That's all I need. There we go. That's great. That's good.
Yep.
I think it's funny that the rating is, of course, the rating's pending as with all these things, but I can't conceive this game, like, I don't know, something about the idea that this would be rated T for teen.
The car's gonna say damn.
For massive cussing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, there's gonna be some swearing.
Yeah, the car's just gonna spin out.
Customize your license plate, and when you give that ability to people who play video games, bad things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
I just, I got this from a friend Drazlim today, just posted the trailer out of nowhere, and it was during the Tribeca stuff, so I was just having major whiplash going between the really nice, fancy Tribeca, which I think is probably the perfect showcase I've ever seen, and then Hot Wheels trailer, oh shit! It was...
It's good. It's good.
It's a solid trailer.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I will just say what I am at least hoping for. As the resident Nintendo apologist,
I want to hear all of the Nintendo things that you specifically want. That is what I'm fucking here for.
So I'll be honest, I'm honestly really shocked that they didn't get out and do the Switch Pro like ahead of time, because there are these rumors of a like I saw some talk of a new Mario plus Rabbids. So yep. I would just love to hear if that is something that is going to happen, then maybe that would be something that they would want to get ahead of. I don't know. It's because they would probably announce that at Ubisoft. So I don't know. We'll see. But I feel weird because like I do want the new Switch just because like a new console with like a better better insides would be great for what Nintendo is doing, because like Nintendo is very frustrating with how behind they are with so many things, like their online capabilities, how the console works, all that. I would love for them to catch up a bit.
I was just happy it had USB-C charging, like
yeah.
Oh
and
like
one of the things that people were starting to throw around for the Switch Pro or whatever they're going to end up calling it is like, guys, it's going to have an Ethernet port. Like, really?
Finally!
This is something that we're going to celebrate. Like, yeah, but I mean, also at the same time, I'm like, okay, good. Yes, that's great. I'm happy that they're going to do that.
Please.
But like, it's sad that is what we're excited about. But I want to see the new Smash characters because of course I do. There have been no like credible like big leaks or anything, so this is going to be completely just out of nowhere. Who knows who it'll be?
What are your favorite incredible big leaks then? Because I want to hear a name.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't even actually seen any of that. Like I haven't seen anyone talking about anything really. Like I haven't seen like.
Not even like a fake Photoshop of like bigger Yoshi is now in?
No, there's been like no Grinch leaks right now, Damn. There hasn't been any of that kind of stuff. So
Put in Fat Yoshi. Put in Fat Yoshi.
Sure. I mean, I feel like they must be doing something kind of big if they're saving it for E3. This is going to be the last two characters. I could see them just being like, here's some major there's two. I'm guessing they're gonna do a Pokemon. I've been feeling they've been probably doing some Pokemon. I'm gonna guess Urshifu, from the not Diamond and Pearl. What am I thinking? Urshifu from the Sword and Shield DLC. I could see them doing that, but for the last character, I have no idea. I just there are so many characters that I want. Like, people in the chat are just throwing names out. And I would just very much love, Reimu would be a great character, heavy weapons guy, all these characters that people are just throwing out there. But I don't really have any predictions. I think it's very up in the air. But we'll see about that. There have been some talk about Metroid game as a new 2D Metroid. That would be lovely. I would very much like that. It does sound like Metroid Prime 4 is in developmental, so we'll see. But
hurts.
I would say, so and I can't get into it because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But I did hear about a game that Nintendo's going to announce that I'm personally very excited about. But that is going to be a cool one from Nintendo. I'm just if you like platformers, I would say you'd be excited for that one. And for the other games, the other systems, I guess. I think Microsoft and Bethesda would probably have some cool stuff too. I would love to see like Wolfenstein, if they do the third one about that, I would love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see I would love to see Starfield, just so people can chill out about Starfield, because people are already freaking out. Everyone was acting like Elden Ring was taking a million years, and now Starfield should probably is going to be the thing that everyone freaks out about. That might be
Starfield,
nice.
that space one that had they were going to put R-Wings in it or something?
I mean,
which one's Starfield?
Starfield is the Bethesda. It's the space Bethesda game.
Okay. Yes.
It's the game that's going to be your Elder Scrolls or Fallout, but it's going to be in space. I guess the other things would just be, I just want to be surprised. I want to see stuff that I'm not going to guess. I want to see things that are just completely off the shits that I would never guess to see.
Well, the thing is that I never expected to see Berkeley 2 drop their entire source code today, but that's technically an E3 drop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
World premiere.
Tales of Games, finally.
I actually think that's a pretty good way of going about it. I think that's healthy at this point. Berkeley 2 source code real.
The only way. Mm-hmm. It's out there.
I hope those folks can get some closure that they needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also,
everyone involved,
they got to put Barkley into Smash now. So
yeah, or the Cyber Dwarf would be playable, definitely. Yeah, Cyber Dwarf. But yeah, are there any other last minute predictions y'all want to throw out there, or we should wrap this up?
Well,
are we going to hear anything about Pokemon? In any
That's
capacity?
A good question.
Yeah.
Nintendo is very weird about Pokemon during E3, just because Pokemon is so separate.
Yeah, it's considered. Yeah.
But I would say if they are going to announce the new Switch, I think that it would be smart for them to. They're probably going to want to talk about Breath of the Wild too. That is also something I didn't mention. Hey, I'm not really a Zelda fan, so that's why I didn't mention it. But they are absolutely going to talk about Breath of the Wild too. That is, sky's blue, grass is green.
But you're going to crest the hill, and it's going to show the title, and
you're going to see it. Yeah. But then later there will be a new trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus where you crest a hill and see the logo. So I think that would be good to show for the Switch Pro as well. Just because they people are worried about Arceus. They're really worried about that because because of that initial trailer. There was slowdown here and there, and like there are some people arguing that maybe it was because of like some bugs or something, that it wasn't actually slowdown, that it was just some kind of like glitch. And I don't know. I'm no expert on this. I'm sure that the people arguing about it aren't experts either. But I would love to see them talk about what this, like, really the big thing is I want them to talk about the Switch 2, the Switch Pro, whatever, and I want them to really emphasize what it is that they are going to do to make it worth your while, because it sounds like it's going to be even more expensive too. And like there is a specific reason why they have to do this, because the chips that they put in the original Switch are like they're not going to make any more of them. So it's not like Nintendo can't make more Switches if they wanted to. They'd have to make a new, like they'd have to do something new. So yeah, they have to do something new, and so why not make an upgrade? But if they're going to charge more for it, they need to make people want to pay more, because why like they're just going to end up buying Switch Lites instead.
Switches right now are 300, right?
Yes.
I mean, I would not be super surprised if it was, comparably priced.
Mm-hmm.
If the Switch Pro was like also 300 or 350 for the first bit, until they run out of Switches proper, and then it's just like they did with the DS and the DS Lite and the DSi and all those, that ended up becoming the main one that they sold, and they depreciated the previous model. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Morance's Joy-Con drift will be the playable fighter in Smash. Still gonna be a thing. It's fucked up.
And something that was pointed out in chat as well is that there is this like Valve console that has been going around too. Like, what's that going to be? What kind of developments is going to be with that? Is Valve going to announce any kind of game? I mean, they got Half-Life Alyx, but like, is there going to be something else? Like, there's been all those rumors of them doing some other kind of VR experience, like a multiplayer game. I don't know. Who knows at this point? But I mean, I guess we'll know in like a day or two.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. We'll see tomorrow, and we'll be here tomorrow for that.
We'll be here tomorrow to talk about it. All right. Well, I guess that should be it for today. Thank you all for being on here. This was a real fun time.
Yeah.
Should we plug our own stuff, or should we just be like, hey? Definitely we should plug the site. I'm just gonna say real quick. Go to videogamechoochoo.com, the website where we are going to be posting our content all through the next few days. We're going to be posting the video versions. I think we're also going to be editing together some audio versions of these. And then, of course, we have our Twitter at VGChooChoo, or Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. And, if you want to come hang out with us, we have a Discord server. You go to the gamezone.zone, type that into your web browser, and it'll bring you straight there. You can come hang out with us. You can talk about E3 there as well.
Everyone here has written up a whole bunch of stuff for compiling all of the things in E3, except John.
I'm scheduled to do it eventually, so I will be doing writing this week. All right,
hey,
I'll do it. All right,
you're in the grinder tomorrow with me, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Yep. And Scott's also written some stuff up. It's been really awesome. I think it's just been a really holistic look at the entire E3 without having to go too deep and without having to sit through we're up to 7 hours now. We've gone through 7 hours of E3.
Yeah.
And look at our schedule. Look at the schedule. It's going to be another
condensed
15 hours or so. Well, maybe more.
We're gonna make this palatable for the average human being. So
we've got it in text, we've got it in video, we've got it in podcast form. All of it's here, and it's all just to make it simpler for everyone here.
Of course. And also, hey, if you want to support us, patreon.com/VGCC. That'll be that's the way to give us $3 a month, and you'll get access to stuff early. Because Solon does we have two people who do field notes, I should say. Solon does video game field notes, and Elvie does anime field notes. So
Yeah, it's a
basically
little
just
a
more
lot of things.
demented.
We've started just making
Yeah.
screenshot Let's Plays of the media that we're playing through to review
It's
and to
legit
talk
great.
about.
Like
It's fun.
as a fan of what you all do, like just as like even if I wasn't the editor in chief, I love reading y'all's thoughts. So it's all fun.
I know me and Elvie said
Yeah.
some feral stuff in those field notes too.
Yeah, y'all
Thank
just
you,
let it
thank you.
loose. It's great. It's great though.
Sometimes helps too. It helps like if you're seeing something that's like terrible, and like you just got to get it out. Otherwise, if you keep it in, it's not good for you.
Of course.
And you hope people would agree with you once they see it, once it goes out there to the world.
I'm playing stuff by the Danganronpa writer, and so yeah, I gotta filter that out
Gotta
somehow.
get it out.
There's some wild energy in
That's
that game.
on that's on Patreon already too. So
Mhm. Yeah, it is.
preview of the
Alright.
review.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for checking out our stream. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about all kinds of stuff. We got, the Wholesome Game stream, Ubisoft. Here, I have it written down. Let me
Oh hell yeah!
Earbox.
get my notepad here.
Gearbox.
Yeah. Wholesome Games, Devolver, Gearbox, and Ubisoft.
All right, who's
That'll
hyped for
be-
Devolver?
I kind of wish Wholesome Games was at the end, just to as like a palate cleanse.
Wind
But
us
we can't
down.
have
Yeah.
everything, can
You
we?
want Devolver at the beginning, and you want Wholesome Games at the end,
Yes,
as opposed to
that would have been better.
Mhm.
The middle, the unsavory. Who knows what's going to happen in their middle? Like I'm very concerned.
I still think it's perfect to end on Devolver. I think that their showcases have
Yeah,
been
that's
incredible. Their games have been getting just
fair.
the library they put together for this last 2 years is wildly good.
You're
last year,
right. You're right.
Last year, the Devolver presentation was really wholesome and nice, and I hope that they
Yeah.
continue to, because like their whole thing was like they were really cynical during a time when nobody was cynical, and then as everyone else got cynical, they got really like, hey, but we're here to play games, remember? And like all the other presentations are looking at them like, you made us like this, and they're just like, no, we're about being with people and playing games and enjoying what we love. And so I'm hoping they continue that trend of just being exactly what you don't think they'll be.
The
They got all of
opposite.
E3 to fall for Devolver's trick.
Yep.
It's very sneaky.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow to talk about games. E3, baby, it's time. Thanks so much.